Boxing fans around the world were extremely hyped for the thrilling bout between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Unfortunately, the anticipated fight has been cancelled, with Fury withdrawing from the fight due to an injury. Jake Paul's familiar opponent, Tyron Woodley, has picked up the towel and chosen to step in the ring for a rematch. For the deets of the bout and much more, keep watching. First things first, let's dive into Tommy Fury withdrawing. Jake Paul, a well-known American YouTuber and professional boxer, has won 4 fights since he began boxing. Paul won a split decision over Tyron Woodley in his most recent encounter. The bout between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury had been decided to take place on the 18th of December in Tampa Bay, Florida. The press conferences that preceded the fight were filled with trash talk and personal attacks, showing the fans there was no love lost between the two famous boxers. Fans of the sport were super eager to see the pair finally square off in the ring. Unfortunately, things don't go as planned. According to boxing reports, Fury is in pain after being injured and having to withdraw from his fight with Jake Paul. Fury has stated that he won't be ready to face the YouTuber in the boxing ring until December 18th. I am absolutely heartbroken that I have been forced to withdraw from my fight with Jake Paul due to a bacterial chest infection and broken rib, Fury said in a statement. I really do hope we can get this fight rescheduled in the new year. I want this fight to still happen more than anything. Tommy Fury, a 22-year-old British professional boxer and reality television personality, is the younger brother of Tyson Fury, a professional heavyweight boxer. Due to Fury's injury, his team didn't want to risk his life by allowing him to fight in the upcoming challenge with Paul. The news, which was first reported by the UK publication The Mirror, was confirmed by Paul on social media on Monday morning. Fury had a record of 7 wins and no losses. With 4 of the wins being through KOs, he was predicted to be Paul's toughest challenge till now, as well as the first professional boxer he has encountered. This follows after a string of early victories over fellow YouTubers and retired pro athletes outside the boxing community. The Love Island star also boxed on the undercard of Paul Woodley, but looked rusty in outputting the much smaller MMA fighter Anthony Taylor despite the great reach advantage. Next, we look at the rematch with Tyron Woodley. The YouTube star turned professional athlete chose to still fight in the main event of his Showtime PPV from the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. He'll be up against former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley, who agreed to replace Fury for a rematch on only a 2 weeks' notice. When my team woke me up on Friday to tell me Tommy was pulling out, I told them I'm ready to fight anyone on December 18th, Paul said in the press release. Troy, Trey, Trevor, Travis, I don't give a damn who it is. So as I predicted, Tommy fumbles and Tyron is there to pick it up, stepping in, and contractually, he is getting an extra $500,000 if he knocks me out. First time, I outboxed him. This time, I'm gonna punish him and leave no doubt. Woodley, the 39-year-old professional, had his boxing debut in August. He proceeded to lose an 8-round split decision to Paul in Cleveland, Ohio. Woodley did, of course, give Paul tough competition and arguably even scored an uncalled knockdown when the ring cords kept Paul up after a straight right. Paul initially appeared inclined to rematch Woodley just after their close contest, but only if his rival followed through on a pre-fight wager to get a I Love Jake Paul tattoo anywhere on his body. Woodley ultimately got the tattoo on the middle finger of his left hand, but Paul seemed hesitant with his commitment for a rematch. Next, contract drama. Jake Paul has fired back at claims that his opponent's contracts helped stop them from knocking him out, laying the rumors to rest with a $500,000 bonus. Several fans claimed that Tyron Woodley was stopped from knocking out the YouTuber turned boxer in their match earlier this year, which Paul has now strongly rebuffed. In an interview with USA Today, Paul stated that the bonus was included in the agreement to put a stop to rumors about clauses that avoided such a potential knockout. In the very same interview, Paul doubted Fury's reasons for withdrawing from the fight, claiming that he had never trusted the boxing family. The YouTuber then went on to call the Fury family shady, fully believing that Tommy Fury succumbed to the pressure. Paul believed that under the intense stress of the upcoming high-stakes fight, Tommy managed to crack. He didn't want to go go toe-to-toe with me. He found any way he could to escape," Paul claimed. When will the Fury vs. Paul fight happen now? Fury has indicated his clear intent to reschedule the fight for the next year, but it's unclear whether Paul will even accept such a proposal. It's unknown whether Fury will be given another chance to face Paul, as the Manchester-born boxer has missed out on what would have been the biggest contract of his profession so far. However, promoter Frank Warren has proposed that the fight could be rescheduled, with Fury's team and camp eager to get it confirmed as early as possible. Tyron Woodley is pretty ecstatic to get a matchup against Jake Paul after Tommy Fury pulled out of their fight. Malki Kawa, Woodley's manager, thinks it's exactly what the UFC star earned, as Paul had earlier consented to a rematch with Woodley before ruling it out. While Woodley had lost earlier this year, he was Paul's first opponent to go the 8-round distance and showed some encouraging results. The Paul Woodley 2 card will also include a special attraction match between former NFL running back Frank Gore and ex-NBA point guard Darren Williams. This isn't all from the boxing world, so keep watching because we've got some more news for you. Next up, Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury. Confirmed. After the WBC instructed negotiations for the mandatory bout, Dillian Whyte's long-awaited world champion fight against Tyson Fury could now be guaranteed. The WBC officially commanded Fury to fight Whyte, the WBC's interim champion, in October if he couldn't comply with an undisputed world title fight within 30 days. Despite an ongoing arbitration between the Brixton man and the WBC, Whyte will now enforce a mandatory title fight against Fury scheduled for next year. The confirmation of the anticipated bout has put an end to any rumor of an undisputed world title fight between the WBC champion and Oleksandr Usyk, who will now pursue a rematch with Anthony Joshua. Whyte directly challenged Fury to decide their strong rivalry in the ring in an interview with Sky Sports last month. With a knockout win over Deontay Wilder, Fury managed to climb off the canvas twice to retain his WBC title. But Whyte had warned Fury, telling Sky Sports, "Of course I'll finish him. Wilder is overrated. He can punch, but he can't fight." Now, Deontay Wilder admits he has mixed feelings about fighting again. Former world heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder confesses he's on the fence about fighting again in the coming years. The 36-year-old took part in one of the best heavyweight fights in recent years in October. In the 11th round of his spectacular trilogy fight with Tyson Fury, he was knocked out. Wilder was majorly knocked down in the 3rd round before coming back and dropping Fury twice in the 4th. Fury would fight back to defeat Wilder twice in the 10th and 11th rounds. In the defeat, the massive boxer sustained a hand injury that required surgical procedure. He's currently recovering from the surgery and spending some much-needed time with his family. Wilder's contemplating his future in the sport as he takes a break from the grueling routine. It's mixed feelings because ultimately, I have accomplished all my goals in this sport. I told my daughter when she was 1 that I'd be a champion and I'd be able to support her beyond her belief. Wilder made the remarks during Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud network show. Shelley Finkel, Wilder's co-manager, believes his boxer will return to action in 2022. Wilder's next fight, he believes, will most probably occur in the first half of next year, as he still has a lot of opportunities in the heavyweight division. Next up, Oleksandr Usyk can put doubts in the minds of opponents, says Isaac Chamberlain. Usyk is waiting to receive word on his next fight after capturing the WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight titles in September with a brilliant points win over Anthony Joshua. After wowing the highly gifted southpaw, Chamberlain was twice summoned to training camps to spar with Usyk and was fully aware of the danger posed to Joshua. The British contender assisted in the preparation for Usyk's world cruiserweight title fights against Marius Briedis and Marco Huck before stepping up a division in search of many more belts. Usyk is now set to face Joshua in an exciting fight after rival title holder Tyson Fury was instructed to defend his WBC crown against Dillian Whyte. Chamberlain brawls for the empty IBF International Cruiserweight belt against Dylan Brasovic this Friday at Crystal Palace. The London-based boxer's hoping that his victory will help push him up the leaderboard and into a fight with the IBF champion Briedis. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think will be the result of the rematch between Logan Paul and and Tyron Woodley? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.